Hey, happy Halloween, everybody. This is Nolan. I'm going to be drawing some Overwatch fan art today. Sombra, who's starting to be my new favorite in Overwatch. And we've got the Halloween event ending, so that pain for scrambling for skins is kicking in. So I already did a little bit of the sketch ahead of time, but I'm going to just finish this off with everybody. I didn't expect to like her Frankenstein bride dress so much, but they did really well with this one. And this one I won't be coloring today. I'm probably just going to do the line work and then finish it off digitally at some point before November 1st.
That's really cool.
Thank you. So, how much do you know about Overwatch?
I know that it is awesome, and that's all you talk about.
Define awesome. The game kind of drives people crazy at times.
Why are people so into Overwatch?
Well, I know for me, it's because the games aren't long, so that you don't have to pay attention for long matches, and most will be, if you're playing competitive, 25 minutes, 30 minutes at most. And that's if you're having a very intense match, because it's a team-based objective game. So you'll either be capturing a point or you'll be pushing a car to the end of the line against another team, and you'll be attacking or defending. It's a simple concept, which means, you don't have to play too intensively. Like, most people are pretty into it. Like, I've put in a lot of hours on it, but all in all, it's like a game you can be casual about, which I like. It's also a fun thing to play with friends because the teams are 6 people. So you can just hit people up and be like, hey, you want to play a couple matches tonight? And it's an easy hangout without going out sometimes.
What's the objective? Like ultimately, what are you trying to do when you play that game?
Honestly, nothing. You gain levels and experience points.
Right.
But there's not really... All you get are loot boxes, which is how you get like sprays that you can put on flat surfaces during your matches, or you'll get skins like this one that I'm doing here, or you'll get voice lines. And if you make an impressive play during the match, well, it's supposed to be, if you make an impressive play, you can get play of the game, which it's what the game's algorithm calculates as the most impactful play during the entire match. And it does a special animation. You can get those from loot boxes too. But other than that, leveling up just shows how many hours you've put into the game. And, sometimes you'll get into a match and you'll get a lot of people talking about how you're such a high level, but you're garbage. Which I find pretty funny most of the time.
And this is all on PC, right?
It's on PS4 and Xbox One. Only thing is the accounts aren't linked. You have to do a separate account for each. So if you're playing competitive on one, your ranking wouldn't transfer over to the other.
To the other system.
Yeah.
Well, that's not nice.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of understand why Blizzard did that. The gameplay is kind of different between the console and PC. Not that people who play on it are any worse or better than the other. It's a different play style. Like shooting people with a controller is completely different to doing it with a keyboard and mouse. But
And that game's what, $65, right?
it goes on sale pretty often. You can get it for like $20 when it's on sale. Yeah.
Did you see that new Spider-Man Sony?
Ooh, yes. I have yet to pick up Spider-Man actually, so I really should do that soon.
Yeah. The graphics look amazing.
How they designed the entire world is just so accurate to real life. There's still this video going around of somebody, I think, around New York University who just is like, oh, this area looks familiar, and it's a cut of him playing the game and then looking out his window and it's the exact same spot in the game, mapped perfectly. So they did pretty good.
No, why do you play PSP instead of Xbox?
I played on PC because my friends played on PC.
Okay.
I started out on PS4 when the game first came out because I didn't really have any people that were interested in playing it. But then they all got it, and none of them had a console to play it on. So we all ended up on PC.
Now, which character is this?
This is Sombra. So there's not really much story to Overwatch, but the whole of it is that there's Overwatch and then there's Talon. Overwatch are the heroes, and Talon are the villains. And Overwatch got disbanded before the game itself happened. And then they got back together at the start of the game. She's playing whatever side she feels like it. She's the game's hacker trope character, like 90s style. Actually, I guess you could even say like Matrix style character.
Yeah, it's very...
Yeah.
Punk rock emo girl looking. So Overwatch, they're supposed to defend the world kind of thing?
Yeah.
Now, how do you decide as far as shading and coloring, and what's that process?
So for this one, it's going to be pretty minimal shading because the dress she's wearing is white. So maybe I might go in and do a few details on her skin, but for this one, her skin is actually an off green. So since I'm planning on coloring this digitally after I do this sketch with you, I'm probably just going to fill in the black. Or make it more graphically styled, I guess you could say. And the good thing about this is any mistakes I make, I can fix it later, especially if I'm doing it in black. It'll be high contrast later, so I can just go ahead and fix that either on this paper with some white or when I scan it into Photoshop.
How much is Photoshop now? Because you got to pay rent, right?
Yeah, basically. I think the old price, like you could get the Illustrator's package for $20 a month, but Adobe made the full package $54 a month, I think it was, or $60 a month. And apparently they're raising the price again this month too. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They've got that monopoly on the designer network. It is actually a little crazy because a lot of places, like, they expect you to have your own copies of programs if you're working with them. Like, I don't think I've been with a single person who offered any sort of Adobe package as part of their work plan. Which honestly would probably be good for people to do because their pay isn't covering, you know, cost of materials if they're not.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, things are only getting more and more expensive.
Well, the good thing is the tablet, like the drawing tablet monopoly has kind of calmed down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Wacom had a big monopoly on that, but now there's, well, in the past few years, there's been a lot of companies just making their own. Leon, I think, is one of my favorites.
That's cool.
This pen I'm using is a Pentel brush pen. They've got a lot of different brush refills now. And it was actually in New York Comic Con. A lot of their new stuff is really interesting. They've been really making...
Ouch.
Sorry. Didn't expect that to echo back to you. They've been making stuff like this one that I'm holding. They made like a two-tone sparkle pen, which, you know, gel pens used to be what we used in school.
Right.
Like the Milky pens that we use for just craft hour. But these change tone depending like what color you do it on. So like here it'll be like this ultraviolet / purple. And then on black it should be a different color. Like there it's blue. So they've been making a lot of interesting stuff. I don't know how they got the ink to react like that and still made it an artist pen, but they did it. Good on them. But I think for the sketch, I'm mostly done for what I'm going to be doing on paper. Not too many black pieces on her dress. I'm just going to thicken out a little bit of the edges and then I can scan this baby in.
And then after you scan it, then you make a copy, then color it?
After I scan it, I'm actually going to scan it straight into Photoshop. And from there, I'll clean up. I'm definitely going to clean up the pencil lines up top. And I'll just color right over it.
Can you do what you're doing on an iPad?
Yeah. You can use Procreate for this.
That new iPad Pro looks interesting.
I tested it out a few weeks ago. It's very smooth. It's, you know, not my cup of tea in terms of drawing because I don't know, drawing on the go, I'd rather just use my sketchbook.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see where it'd be great to use.
Does it replace the paper and pen?
I mean, it depends. It all depends on the person's art style. I think for me, if I had that, it would have to be one or the other. Like I'd have to want to be in the mood to sketch digitally.
Mm-hmm.
But for like something like this, I could see myself doing this on the iPad Pro easily. And what I'm doing at the sides here is just me planning out like any sort of effects I'm gonna do in Photoshop. So maybe I might she hacks things, so maybe I might add in some of her like her VX onto the background here. But I think for now I'm gonna be done with this one. So nice talking with you about some Overwatch for once.
Yeah.
We should play.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it?
Yep.
Woohoo.
Nice talking with you.